Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm looking at a company called Arise, and they have a couple of spots open for some contract jobs. And if that's something that you're looking for, this will be the ideal job for you. You can set your own hours with these opportunities. The first one that I'm looking at is Text Energy. Text You Energy. They're looking for customer support, collections, and sales. Now, this is going to be ideal for individuals with experience with clear, effective professional communication. Now, they do require a drug screen. And daily pay are available for them. Now, just to give a quick overview, this is going to be an inbound collections and sales opportunity. On the system requirements, you're going to need a USB hardwired headset. Dual monitors are strongly recommended that need to be 22 inches or larger, and of course a webcam. So you would want to have those. They do not send out equipment, so you would have to have your own equipment to get started with this. Now, under the certification, you have phases 1 and 2. The first phase is going to be classroom time, instructor led, and it lasts about 12 days, 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday. You also have some self-study daily in that. Now, on the second phase, which is going to be call taking phase, where you're going to actually get a chance to take some calls, and it's mandatory to certify. So you'll have 2 hours every day that you go in, take some calls, and then you'll go back to the class and discuss what happened on those calls. That's how that worked. Now, under your certification which is a statement of work, is what they call a SO. You have to work at least 10 hours a week in order to certify after you finish phase 2. So that's another part of that. And then to complete certification, it goes on to tell you everything that you would have to do to complete that certification. Now, of course, they're reminding you that you need to be on webcam and that you do not need to miss any day of class so you can be successful. Now, it's important that you know that you have to pay $50 a class confirmation deposit. Now, if for any reason you don't show on the first day, you will be dropped from the class with no exceptions, and that money will not be refunded to you. So that's something that you would want to look into and make sure this is something that you would want to do before you commit. Now, on the revenue schedule, what it's saying is that during the certification you get paid is $7.64 per hour, $3.82 per interview. When you go to production, it'll be $11.50 per hour and $5.75 per interview. Now, and they do have some incentives with this client, so that's something to look at. Now, the class is scheduled to start April the 20th, 2026, and the first part is going to go from April 20th to May 5th, and then phase 2 is going to go through May 6th through May 8th. And the class time offered is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everything is Eastern Standard Time with them. So, yeah, you want to keep all of that in mind. And then they have a few more tabs that you can just click on when you get in there. Go to arise.com and then register. You don't have to be an independent business owner anymore with them. You can just be an individual and still sign up to be, work with them. You're not an employee, you're a contract. Now, the next one that we're going to look at is Fiserv, and this is an ideal opportunity for someone who has financial services or prepaid card experience. Now, just a quick overview on them is inbound customer service, and I do see that they will be requiring fingerprinting and drug screening for this client. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Now, on the system requirements, you're going to need 8 gigabytes of RAM or greater. You need the dual monitors. You need the webcam for class. You need to be hardwired to the internet, to your Ethernet connection. Your core your CPU speed, it need to be a i5 processor or higher. You need Apple or Android cell phone for code verification, secondary code verification. And of course, they're going to send you a YubiKey, and that'll be provided by the client. It'll mail out to you. Now, this certification right here is going in 2 phases also. So phase 1 is 6 hours of instructor led self-study included in that content per day. And then in phase 2, you apply what you learned in phase 1. So it's kind of like the previous opportunity. You must be able to service no less than 4 hours per day for this opportunity for taking those live calls. And during certification, you need to be able to work at least 10 hours. Now it tells you what all you need to complete for the certification. And of course, it tells you one more time about that webcam. Now, you do have to pay $50 for the class confirmation deposit. If you don't show up for the first day or you're dropped from the class, you'll be dropped from the class, rather. No exceptions. You won't get that money back, that $50. Now, let's jump over to the revenue right quick. Now they're going to pay the $7.64 per hour, which is $3.82 every 30 minutes, basically. And on the production, when you hit production, it'll be $14.50 per hour, and that's $7.25 per interview. And it goes on to tell you about incentives that they do have. And the certification schedule is 6/8 through 7/23. And then for phase 1, and then phase 2 is 7/24 through 8/27. And this is the time frame that the class times are offered. So they got 3 different class times that you can choose from. And it just goes on to tell you that you will be required to service the 4 hours in phase 2. No exceptions on that. So yeah, check out these 2 contract jobs. If this is something that you're interested in, finding more work from home jobs that you can kind of set your own hours versus being a W-2 employee, let me know. Put comment more in the comments, and I definitely look for more jobs like that to help you guys out. Yeah, so like, share, subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and as soon as I find more, I'll let you know. And yeah, just stay updated. Until next time, happy remote job hunting.